Hey there, it's Diane Forster. Welcome to I Have Today, where we talk about the art of intentional living. And this show is about inspiring, empowering, and educating you through life's transitions. Well, have I got another amazing powerhouse woman for you today? I'm so excited to introduce you to my friend, Suzy Prudden, she's an absolute legend and icon. You've seen her on Oprah, Good Morning America, and the Today Show. She was a fitness and body mind icon from the 60s to the 90s. She's a New York Times bestselling author, a body mind pioneer, hypnotherapist, success and empowerment coach, and creator of the Inner Mind Certification Program. She's also hosted a TV show and radio show in New York and LA. And what she's been doing over the last few years is epic. She is always on the cutting edge, the leading edge in business. And I'm going to read a little bit more about her when she comes on. I don't want to give it all away, but all I have to say to you is get ready for a treat. Get ready to laugh. Get ready to be inspired and empowered, and get rid of your excuses. So today's show is Reinventions that are successful every time. Here's the thing about Suzy. She's done this many, many times, and she has such a pulse on what's happening out there prior to it happening that she blazes the trail and others come along and follow her. By the time everybody else is, catching up with her, she's already off onto the next latest thing. So this is going to be such a good show for you today. All right. So we're broadcasting or streaming right now live from E360 TV. And we're also on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I Have Today with Diane Forster if you search there. So we also turn this TV show into our podcast. So if you prefer listening to podcasts, you can find us on all streaming platforms. Just search I Have Today with Diane Forster and it will come up. If you're here for the first time, welcome. So great to have you. And if you've been here before, I want to say welcome back. So because we are streaming live, I can see your comments and questions. So if you have anything that you want to ask, chime in, be sure to write it in the comments section. All right. So one of the things we do on this show every week is we want to give you an intention statement. It's all about the art of intentional living. And how do you live an intentional life? Well, you need to set intentions. So the intention statement for this week is I have today to reinvent my life at any age. Any age. You can start over. You can redo. You can reinvent. And so there's no excuses. And Suzy, who's been doing this for 6 decades, she is a testament to it, that it does not matter. No excuses. You can create any life that you want. You simply have to believe in yourself and go after it. And she's got a lot of lessons along the way, because even though we titled this show Reinventions that are successful every time, that just doesn't happen by accident. And that doesn't happen without falls. I don't call them failures or mistakes. They're just opportunities that show up for us. So we're going to have a great conversation about that. And so what we do with the intention statement is my amazing team makes these gorgeous graphics. Team, if you could show that graphic. And what we do is they are on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official. So if you hop on over there, give me a follow while you're there. But there's a little button called intention statements. This one is already up there. So what I want you to do is take your phone, take a screenshot of it, and then use it as your screensaver for the week, so that every time you look at your phone, you see this. This is how we create lasting, positive, permanent change. It's through the repetition. You look at your phone on average 150 times a day. I don't know if you knew that. So over the course of a week, you're going to see this over 1,000 times. So that's what I want you to do, to know wherever you are in your life, whatever age you are, whatever the circumstances are, you have the power to change your life at any time, at any age. So There are no excuses. So I just wanted to say that. And another thing that I wanted to say, I did a video on this on TikTok the other day. You have an expiration date. Your dreams don't, but you do. So when we think someday and one day that thing is going to happen, or you're going to miraculously feel ready, those days don't come. You've got to be willing to go after your goals, dreams, and desires right here, right now, today, because this is all that you are promised. All right, we're getting ready to bring Suzy up for the interview. And so before we do that, first listen to a word from our sponsor, the Spifter. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. Happy today, Suzy Prudden. Oh, you're on mute. We can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
Now we're back. I didn't want to make noise earlier,
That's okay. It is so good to see you. I have been so excited about this interview, and I can't wait to share you with the I Have Today family. It's so fun. Yeah. So a little backstory. Suzy and I don't know if we talked about this, but we actually met years ago, I want to say about 10 years ago, at a networking event in Vegas. So you know which one it was. And I actually did some of your hypnotherapy work with you. I don't know if you remember that. You know why? I was going by my maiden name, my married name, and Diane Forster is my birth name. So that might have been the reason why, but I haven't had the chance to share that with you.
No, was that CEO Space?
Yes, it was really, really powerful. It was right as I was on the cusp of inventing the Spifter. I was still working at ABC. I was still going through a lot of transformation in my life. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you as we get started. So
that's so much fun. Recently, I've bumped into a lot of people from CEO Space from 10 years ago. And they're all coming back into my life right now. So how perfect is this?
It is so perfect. Yes. So the first thing I want to ask you is tell everybody a little bit about you, who you are and what you do.
Where do I begin? Okay, so I am originally from New York City. I'll do it as quickly as possible. So when I was in college, I went to Carnegie Tech. I was going to be an actress. And my mother told me I couldn't date the boy I was dating. So I married him. That was the beginning. And then I came back to New York from Pittsburgh, and he went back to school, and I created a business. I worked as a secretary for a little bit, but that was not exciting. And when I got fired, I thought, you know what? I don't want to work for anybody. My mother, who's Bonnie Prudden, who was the nation's foremost fitness authority, who started the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports, taught me how to teach exercise. So I opened up an exercise school. And after my son was born, I specialized in toddlers. And I became very well known. I sold my first book at a cocktail party in East Hampton, Long Island in 1971. I've written many, many, many books. I couldn't write. My ex-husband wrote the books with me. Now I can write. It's interesting. Writing is a wonderful tool because you get better, hopefully, as you get older. And with sports, it's different. You have a cutoff date, so to speak, but with writing, you don't. And so
good point.
Yeah, so I write a lot of my books now myself. I also write with my sister as my business partner. Fast forward, 81, I divorced. 83, I sold my business, went on my Eat, Pray, Love adventure. Then I created body-mind technology programs, and that's when I met Louise Hay. We became very, very good friends
Mm.
after I moved to California. And one day, this is a fun story.
I
One
love
day
it.
while we were exercising in my living room, Louise and I, her hip hurt. And I said, well, Louise, what does that mean? You're the expert. And she figured it out. It was something to do with balance in her hips. But I had an idea in that moment. And I want to say for all of you who are watching, listening, when you get an idea, act on it, even if it seems like a silly idea, or even if it's way, way, way beyond what you think you could really achieve, just act on it. So I asked Louise, I said, Louise, why don't we do a video together? I'll do the exercises and you do the affirmations. And she said, let me take it to the board. So she did. Came back next week. We're exercising in my living room. And she said, Suzy, we've decided that we want to publish your video. And we want to publish a book and 2 audios. And I have it right here. Where is
Oh, let's see it. What year was this, Suzy?
it?
No,
This
I
is
didn't ask. I didn't ask your age. I just asked what year.
well, I just turned 80
Oh, happy
last
80.
Thursday. So this is
Happy
the
80
video.
years now.
Let me put it.
Look at that. Yes.
And it's a book. I've just put this online. It's a classic. I mean, somebody said, well, it looks like a video from the 80s. I said, it is a video from the 80s.
Right.
Nobody else has Louise Hay doing the affirmations. Nobody. And it goes right through the body from all the way from the head to the toes. And you know what? Every part of your body, as you're exercising, Louise is saying the affirmations.
Yes.
So that you are actually literally laying down the affirmations into the muscle membrane so that every time you move, you become the affirmation.
Yeah. I have goosebumps. I'm highly intuitive. And
I will let you know when it goes up in terms of when it's actually for sale. It's not up yet. That's my next project. I've got several projects that are not publishing that I'm jumping ahead of myself. Okay, so during that time, every time I wrote a book after the first 3, we didn't go on tours the first 3, which is a mistake, and I can explain that later. The first book that I did with Workman Publishing, which was I think the 4th book that we did, is this book. I went on an 18-city tour, and it was while we were in Detroit that my editor from Workman called me and said we made the New York Times list.
Woo!
And that was because we really seriously marketed the book. The books that I did before that, I made the mistake of not going on tour because my husband didn't fly. By the time the Workman book came out, I said, I'm going. Whether you come with me or not, I'm going. And that's the book. And every single book after that did really well.
How many books?
11. 11 with big houses. And I've done a bunch of itty bitty books and a bunch of self-published books. But with the big houses, William Morrow, Simon & Schuster, Doubleday, Harper San Francisco, Workman, Hay House. So when the Hay House book came out, Hay House sent me on a 15-city tour, but they couldn't get me on the Oprah show. And so I hired a publicist. And that publicist got me on the Oprah show. And, it's interesting. You do what you have to do in order to move forward. And every challenge is a major opportunity. And it sets the stage for everything else that you do.
What you're saying is so powerful because you did not get where you are today by sitting back and just, living on those laurels or thinking, oh, just because I write the book. I see this all the time because I am, I host this show, but I also coach women and help them reinvent their lives personally and professionally. And I have groups, and the issue that most of the coaching I do lots of business coaching, create a lot of businesses, but the majority of my time is spent doing mindset coaching, getting them over that, like get over yourself, like get out there and no isn't no, it's not yet, or it's next. It's like you must believe in your goals, dreams, and desires, and surround yourself with people who do, because that itty bitty committee will do its best, pun totally intended, to talk you out of it.
Right.
And so, what do you attribute that to with you? That tenacity.
I don't do well with no. I really don't. I mean, yes, my mother told me I couldn't date the boy I was dating, so I married him.
Yeah.
If you say no to me, it's always like, oh, say, okay, so how do I do this differently? No doesn't. I don't do well with no. But the thing is that I am responsible for me.
Yes, you are.
I am responsible for me. If I want to do something, I have to do it.
Yeah.
If I want to make something happen, I have to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the kind of thing where you say, please. Okay, give prime example. I was on a show in New York City called The Prime of Your Life for 3.5 years. I had you love this, man. It was on NBC. I had a 7-minute spot.
Wow.
Every Saturday morning live. It was phenomenal. And I had a fabulous producer, Larry Johnson. Every week I would call Larry with an idea for a Suzy Prudden show. And every week Larry would say, thank you, Suzy. I don't think we're ready for that yet, but keep calling. I did. One day Larry called me. He said, Suzy, how would you like your own show? And I said, just tell me what time and what day. And so we did Fit for Fun with Suzy Prudden on NBC. I had 10 half-hour talk shows.
Wow.
Because I kept asking.
Yes. Yes. And
the things that have happened to me, because I dare. Newsweek, okay, I was well known in New York City. I became well known across the country, but New York was my town. And I did the morning shows at least every other month. And radio and television at least every other month. So I was very visible. Yes. And Newsweek called me because I had a lot of celebrity clients. And they said, Suzy, we would like to interview one of your celebrity clients on the proper exercises to do. And I said, why are you going to interview my clients? Why don't you interview me? I'm the one teaching them. Mm-hmm. So they did.
Wow.
And that's when NBC saw that clip, and it was 3 sentences that they called me. They wanted my celebrity clients for a pilot with Frank Field. And I said, why are you going to take a celebrity client? Why don't you take me? Mm-hmm. So they did. They came to my studio. We did the pilot. The pilot didn't go anywhere, but a producer from NBC is the producer that booked me on The Prime of Your Life, which I then did for 3.5 years because she saw the pilot and she liked my performance.
Yes.
So you never know where it's going to come from.
Right.
You just have to keep putting it out there.
Yes. And you are such an example of that, putting yourself out there. So, I've seen your TED or one of your TEDx talks. I don't know how many.
I only have one.
Okay, well, I've seen it.
Right. It's a fun.
I laughed all the way through it. I loved every second of it. And what you talked about in there is your story, your riches to rags story. I don't know if that's what you call it, but that's what I call it.
It is a riches to rags to riches.
Yes.
Again. Yeah.
So talk about what happened, because here you are doing well, and I'm going to let you share because you tell it so well.
Well, after Oprah, that was an amazing experience being on Oprah. Oprah's an amazing interviewer, and yes. The way she holds the room is really incredible. And this was early Oprah. This was 1989.
Yes.
But I did not have a team. Mm-hmm. I did not have anybody guiding me. I was literally a loose cannon. Mm-hmm. And I made a lot of mistakes. And one of them was after, it's so hard. Bottom line is 8 months after being on the Oprah show, I ended up homeless. And I literally had all my stuff in storage. I didn't sleep in my car, but I spent a lot of time visiting friends. Yes. And I would go to places like Rancho La Puerta for a week. That's a 5-star health spa in Tecate, Mexico. And for that week, that's where I lived.
Wow.
I didn't make money there, but I had a place to live.
Mm.
And because I had literally just come off the book, Meta Fitness. And as I said in my TED Talk, I was famous. I was a celebrity. I just happened to be broke and homeless.
Yes.
So I spent 10 months doing that.
Mm.
It's a very scary thing. I remember Christmas Eve in New York. I spent December in New York staying at a friend's house while he was he had an apartment in New York and a place in San Francisco. And he and his wife were in San Francisco, and I was in his place in New York. And every day I would go up to my sister's apartment and we'd work on the book. This book, it's so funny. I'm homeless, and I wrote this book.
Wow.
It's a good book.
Change your mind, change your body. Yeah.
It's a good book. So it was Christmas Eve, and I literally had $250 in my pocket. That was it. I had no bank account. I mean,
So, yes. I guess I mean, psychologically and, law of attraction wise, I know how and why these things happen, right? But what turned it around for you? Here you are, 10 months homeless. You have $250 to your name. What is the thing that started to flip it?
I couldn't stay there.
Okay.
I couldn't stay in that space. I had to change it. I had to find a way out of that dilemma.
So
And,
what did you do?
Diana, I don't know what I quote unquote did.
Yeah.
But I know that I moved myself forward. Nothing got me down. Yes, I was scared. With the $250, I that's all the money that I had. I had to change it.
Yes.
And I don't know how I did that. I honestly don't know how I did that. All I know is I did that. Gary Zukav asked me one time, he said, what did you do during that time? And without thinking, I said, I leaned back into the arms of God. I trusted and I asked. I said, okay, God, I'm here for some reason. Please let's make it happen. And I don't even know what happened.
I know what happened. Can I
Yes, please tell me what happened.
May I? What I'm hearing? Okay. You did lean into the arms of God. And here's what happens, or happened, but I know this has happened to other people too, is, when your back is so far against the wall and you get to the point where you just refuse to live like this anymore, you get angry, you get, you may not be throwing things or screaming at God or the universe, but you hit this point where there is no other alternative for me than to get out of this situation and change my life.
Yeah.
And it's a declaration. And I'm telling you, Suzy, what happens? The energy shifts, because the slow, steady, I see this in women all the time, women who say no, who don't take action, who I also did a video on this the other day. This client of mine this woman keeps tapping into her for help, coaching advice. And my client is giving her the Band-Aid. I said, and she finally said to the woman, I can't keep coaching you like this for free, because this is my business and my livelihood. And the woman came up with all the excuses. I can't afford it, or I don't have the time right now. And I said to my client, she needs to see that don't let her back get up against the wall before she finally decides to take action, because it happens so much.
Right.
And so it's like an itch. It's bothering you. It's bothering you a little bit, and it might be bothering you more, and you might start getting a rash, and and then all of a sudden it's all over, and finally, like, you have to go do something about it. That's sort of what happens. You weren't starving. You weren't sleeping in your car.
No.
But if you were, something like that happened, it would have moved you into action. See, that's what happened for you. You hit that moment that goes, I'm changing my life today. I don't know how, why, what, whatever. And the whole energy shifts.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. It was that's following spring, and I was renting a room in a house in Del Mar, San Diego.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I went to visit my sister in New York. And we're both broke at this time. And she was living in I think it's East, I'm not sure. She was living in Harlem. Harlem
Right.
was not that great at that time. This is in the 80s.
Yes.
This is 1990. And we're sitting, and we had inherited, I started off very rich as a kid. And we had inherited money all throughout my adult life until that period, and no more money. And so my sister and I are commiserating. And one of us says, maybe someone will die and leave us some money.
Yes.
And then the other one said, that's probably not a good idea to put that out there. And because it's either my mother or my uncle. And, let's not go there. So one of us said, maybe someone we don't know will die and leave us some money. And we both laughed. 6 weeks later, I got a phone call from my cousin. And I'm going, oh no, my uncle died. He said, no, Suzy, do you remember Dr. Schöndorf? And he was a man in Germany that my grandfather bought 3 of his college friends out of concentration. He paid for them to come out. He paid the Nazis to get them out. And then he supported them here. And the daughter of Dr. Schöndorf died, and she didn't have any children. And she left my sister and me, each of us $20,000.
Wow.
With that money, I got out. We both moved to LA, and I started creating new programs in body mind technology and changing your life through the power of your mind, changing your body, making peace with your body through the power of my mind. That's that transition period. And then I became a hypnotherapist and opened up a large a weight loss center in Beverly Hills. I actually had 4 offices. 2008 came, and thank God I lost it, because it was a very expensive business to run, and I couldn't get out from under it. And then I created Suzy Prudden International, which was hypnosis and coaching. And in 2014, my sister and I created Itty Bitty Publishing.
Yes.
Conversation, and in the living room, we were working on a book. She changed the cover, took my name off the cover. My name's been on everything. And as I looked at the book, I said to her, I'm looking at the book like this. I'm saying, Petey, this is $1 million business. And so now for the last 8 years, I've been publishing other people's books. And it's exciting.
It is. Don't you love being a part of other people getting their amazing work out into the world?
Well, that's what I say, that I am the force beneath the wings of my authors.
Yes.
To get them positioned in the world the way they want to be, the way they deserve to be.
Yes.
Because a book opens doors for you.
It does. It does. Explain the concept of the itty bitty books to people.
Itty bitty books are like the new dummies. The difference between itty bitty books and dummies is dummies are 350 pages you have to read with a yellow highlighter, and itty bitty books are the yellow highlights. They're 30 pages, 15 chapters, 2 pages each, written in numbered sentences and bullet points. And you use the book as a marketing tool. There's no story in Itty Bitty. It's all about, this is what you need to do in order to have this in your life, or in order to create something else in your life. It's all experts.
No fluff. No fluff. Here it is. Yeah, I love it.
But what you do with it, I mean, Anthony Camacho, this is his book.
I've had Anthony on my show. Yeah, I love him.
He's wonderful. He grew his company from $100,000 to $750,000 a year using this book as his marketing tool. This is Pam Huffman.
I know Pam too. Oh my gosh, I can't believe
we know the same people.
We do know the same people. This is so interesting.
She's talking to the Boys and Girls Club of America. They want to buy her book and have her speak to them. There are 4 million kids in the Boys and Girls Club of America. Hello, we can both retire. This gentleman, this is a phenomenal story. He's a stager for real estate. There are no pictures in Itty Bitty. So what did he do? He explained the room, and then on page 2, he sent them to his website. I have real estate agents calling me from across the country, ordering these books by the hundreds to give to their clients. So you just don't know.
Right.
You just don't know. A little book can go a long way.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. And you've had compilation books as well, right? Or you've
Yes,
talked about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm doing one with eWomen. This is the compilation book, Volume 1, that I did with Women's Prosperity Network. There are 15 different Women's Prosperity Network authors in this book. And I'm doing Volume 2 now. I'm also doing one with eWomen experts, and I just spent some time with someone from NABO. We're probably going to do one with NABO. So it's really exciting because you not only have one person marketing your book, you've got 15 people marketing your book, which means 15 people are marketing you as they market themselves.
Do you hear how brilliant this is? So brilliant, everybody who's watching or listening to this, because from the author perspective or the expert perspective, to be part of a compilation where you only have to write 2 pages.
One chapter, just 2 pages.
2 pages. That's it. I wrote more than that this morning, right?
Itty bitty pages.
Itty bitty pages. That this is it's so good. Well, I've seen them. I've been a fan of you for, a long time. And I love this next chapter for you. It's very, very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm loving the compilation books more now because it gives me the opportunity to support more people.
Yes.
And it's really about what do you want your life to be like? Where do you want to be in a year? Mm-hmm. Where do you want to be in 2 years?
Yes.
And if not now, when? Mm-hmm. It's like me asking Larry every single week about a TV show. I just stepped out there.
Well, you knew what you wanted.
Yes.
That is the first thing that everybody has to get clear on. You don't go into the restaurant and say, bring me food. You say, I'll have the Cobb salad with dressing on the side, no onions. I'll have an iced tea, unsweetened, whatever. Like, you specifically have to know what you want. And you're an example of this, Suzy. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but let me just say this for everybody. You don't allow moss to grow under your feet. You get an idea and you run with it. You take action right away.
Yep.
You plot, plan, strategize, you just go. And I think that's part of the excitement of it. Now, I'm not telling everybody to do it this way. I'm just saying it's working for you. That's how I am. When I invented the spifter, I was frustrated in the kitchen on Easter Sunday, and I'm decorating my deviled egg that I just piped so beautifully with paprika, and the spice shot out of the container. And
I was going to say, it sounds like it must have fallen because I've had that happen.
And so I was like, oh, so frustrated. And I said, God, if there was just a sifting spoon that had a little teeny sifting bowl and a long handle and a tapping edge, it just appeared in front of me immediately. And so I set out on a quest to find it, because that's how I am. My sisters call me Diana, like I have to have everything in order. And I couldn't find it. And the voice whispered, you need to create this. Yeah. And Suzy, I didn't know anything from anything at all. Inventing, prototyping, like nothing. And I land on ABC. I win an innovation award. And I land on QVC, where we sell out in 6 minutes.
I'm sure you do. Because I was watching your ad, and I went, I want one of those. Actually, I have a friend that I want to get it for.
Oh, great!
It'll make a great gift.
You've
got friends that I just came back from Sacramento, where I was at a conference, and I stayed with a friend who loves to cook, and she loves to measure, and she loves to do all of these things. And she has a big kitchen, but she doesn't have a spifter.
She does not have a spifter.
Got everything else, but she doesn't have a spifter. So I'm going to get her a spifter.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. But so that's why I resonate with you so much. And I want people to do that. Do not overthink. Get First of all, and then I'll let you go because I got to or let you speak because I've got a couple of other questions for you. But this is dropping in. You're not thinking the idea; you're receiving it.
Oh
When
yeah,
you were exercising with Louise Hay, and you're in the room, and the energy's going, and the conversation's going, and
yeah,
then whoop,
yeah.
that dropped
Total
in,
download. Absolutely.
and you instantly took action on it. I
Yep.
love that. That's the way to do it.
If you don't, nothing happens.
Right.
A lot of good ideas stay ideas.
Yes,
Action is the key.
it
And
is.
you know what? If you fail, it doesn't matter. You do something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just it's a failure. Failure is an opportunity to look and see what doesn't work, so that you can do what works. It's
Mm.
just a growing opportunity. It feels awful. I mean, it feels horrible. When I lost everything, because I did it to myself. Nobody did it to me. And I was not only mortified, I was so ashamed,
Mhm.
because I had been out, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I blew it big. And so it took me years to undo the shame and to build my self-respect back. It took me years. It was a massive blow, and I did it to myself.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about yourself now?
Oh, I'm pretty terrific.
Yeah, you are.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't let it get me down. I didn't end everything there. I got myself up. I looked at my life and I said, okay, we got to change this. And as I was becoming aware of the fact that I was about to lose my home and everything else, I literally was sitting in my kitchen in Topanga. I looked at this, I had this beautiful little guest house. And I looked at the ceiling and it was like living in a temple. And I said, thank you, God. You must really love me to give me this experience because it's going to change my life.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing about that statement was I meant it.
Yes.
It wasn't just speaking something. I was all by myself. And I had this moment of gratitude in the middle of falling down the mountain.
Yes. We have to. You have to find the gift and the gratitude in whatever you're going through, because if you're waiting for all the pieces of your life to be in order to be happy, you just wasted
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's scary.
Yeah.
I live on the edge still today at 80. And but I don't know any other way.
Yeah. There's something, it's scary and exciting at the same time.
Yeah.
You leave yourself open to other ideas and opportunities that come in, and you're changing lives.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you a question I ask all my guests that I didn't get to prep you on, but I'm going to prep you right now, and you're going to be amazing. But I want you to share with our audience, how do you live the I have today way, which means intentionally in the present moment? And if you could start it with, I have today too, and then fill in the blank.
I have today to make a difference. I have today to create what I want to create. I have today to celebrate life. I have today to make my life work. I have today to hang out with my cat. I have today to, I think the bottom line for me is I have today to make a difference.
Yes. And you are so beautifully,
Thank
really,
you.
really beautifully. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to share, or have one final piece of advice that you'd like to share with the audience? It could be more than one.
Well, don't stop.
Mm.
It's like keep going. I'm 80. I still work full time. I have my own company. I just came back from Sacramento where I was presenting at a conference. 2 weeks ago, I was in Texas at the E-Women conference. Next month, I have 2 conferences next month. One in where am I going? I'm going to I point, right? I'm going to Las Vegas to an event twice, once this year and once next year. I mean, once in October, once in November. I mean, I am extremely active. Don't stop. Be active.
Yes.
One of the people say you don't act like you're 80. I said I don't act like I'm 80 because I don't. It's like I don't. This is what 80 looks like.
Yes.
My mother started her final company when she was 81.
Yes.
And she died at 97. She was active until very close to the very end, and then she just basically wore out her body. But it's really about taking action, acting on your ideas, daring to step out there, even when you're terrified, even when you think, "Oh my God, the world is falling apart. My world is falling apart." It did. I built back up again. And I think the most important thing, Diane, is find the gift in everything. The worst situation has a gift. Find it, because that will allow you to move forward in your life. If you hang on to blame and you hang on to make wrong and, "Oh my God, my life is so terrible," and you always get to be right. I ask my clients, what do you want to be right about?
Yes. Right. And blame is just...
Well, it keeps you stuck.
It is not a good game.
No, you take responsibility. I messed up. I had to fix it.
Yes.
Nobody did it to me.
Yeah.
And I am successful.
No matter what anybody else says, no matter what your bank account says, no matter what your home says, no matter what anybody else's perception of success is, you are successful because you say you're successful. You are successful. And that's a personal definition. Me, the definition of success is being happy, period. Not anything else, but am I happy? That looks like success to me. Yeah.
Success to me is a small glass of chilled orange juice placed on a doily on a small plate at breakfast. Because when I was a child, in the summer in Vermont, I would come down to breakfast, and William would bring me out as I'm sitting at the breakfast table, a plate with a doily and a small glass of orange juice. Then I could have any breakfast I wanted. He would always cook it for me. And then I would go out the porch door, it's a big door, on the flagstone porch, and walk down the stairs to a huge lawn, and the day was mine.
Amazing.
That's success.
That is success. That is success. All right. Well, I know you have a couple things that we want to share and promote for you. I know you've got a webinar.
I've got a webinar coming up on Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific. It's only $11. The link is there, and I would love. It's on. I'm writing a book. I'm gonna give you the beginnings of how to get you. It's called Write Your Book in a Day.
I love it.
I'll give you the parameters of literally how to set your book up so that you can write this. I have a book that I'm going to be giving. It's called Write Your Book in a Day. And I was teaching a workshop called Write Your Book in a Day. And my sister, who was then my writing partner, said, "Do you need a book?" And I said, "Yes, I do." She said, "Well, let me see if I can write it in a day." And she did. It's an itty bitty book on how to write a book in a day. I've got that. And then you can email me at suzyprudden@gmail.com, because I've got 4 guided imagery processes on creating more wealth as a free gift, and 4 on writing a bestseller. Yes. At Itty Bitty, we've done 116 bestseller campaigns, and we have 116 bestsellers. So I'm really proud of us.
You're really good at what you do, Suzy.
I'm really good at what I do, and I really love what I do. The best part is to see my author's success. Yes. And then finally, I have an assessment to see, for those of you who want to know, are you ready to write a book? Are you in the middle of the book? Should you continue? What do you need to know in order to write the book? There's an assessment. So I've got the links all there. And it's called, what's it called? EmpoweredAuthorAssessment.com. So take the assessment and let's find out how close you are to writing your book.
So fantastic. So fantastic. Well, we have those links. They will be in the show notes for everybody. So don't worry, you won't miss them. And I have to say, what a pleasure it's been having you here at I Have Today. I love and admire you so much, truly.
Thank you, Diane. And I have today to be grateful. Thank you.
You are so welcome. All right. I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So fantastic. I mean, look at her. Amazing. So accomplished. Well, I hope you got a lot of value out of hearing her stories. And we are going to end the show with a mantra meditation like we always do. So please stick around and stay till the end, because we are going to incorporate everything that Suzy shared today with everything that we do here, so that you can leave here feeling better at the end than you did at the beginning. And then before we do that, I wanted to share something with you. I just thought this was so appropriate for what Suzy's doing. Yes, get your book done. Get that marketing tool done. Inspire, empower, and other people with your wisdom, your work, your experience, your words. But then what else can you do to help promote yourself and market yourself? How about hosting a TV show? It has been a game changer in my life. As someone who spent 4 decades in advertising and television industry, I know TV's changed my life, certainly changed Suzy's life too, multiple times. And so what I'm doing is I'm giving you a special as well, because we are nearing the end of summer here. And you know what happens towards the end of summer? All of a sudden you start to get inspired and like itching again, like you're kind of ready to get back into work and projects. I don't know, at least I am, as the lazy days of summer start to end. And so my TV Star Academy, it's the Star Academy Launch Your Show course, is available, and it's normally $1997. That's $1,997, but I'm offering it for 50% off. Now, here's the catch. The link to get it for 50% off is only good for 15 minutes. I'm making you make a decision. I'm making you take action. Like, was Suzy not perfect to talk to about this today? I say you work with Suzy and get your book written, and then you work with me and get your TV show written. If you want to make big impact in the world, and I know you do, if you are here watching my show, I know you're my peeps. I know you're mission-driven and heart-centered, and you want to help as many people as possible. Well, how do you do it? Just like Suzy said, you get out there, and it's no excuses. So team, if you could put the link up for that. Now, this is tvhostmaker.com/Star Academy, tvhostmaker.com/Star Academy. Here's your chance. Take this opportunity to learn what it takes to design and build and launch your own TV show. And you can do it in as little as 30 days. It's itty bitty lessons. So there's so much symmetry with me and Suzy. So, all right, that's your chance. We'll also have that in the show notes. I'm so grateful for Suzy being here, and I want to take what she shared with us today and close us out in a powerful mantra meditation. What is a mantra meditation? Well, a mantra are short phrases, and they're linked together in this meditation so that the words can start piercing into your soul and spirit, in your energy field, and you start to tell your subconscious mind, you get to reprogram it. Because what's it running on? Old programming. So we got to give it the good stuff. And so by having people like Suzy here, teaching you how to live intentionally, deliberately creating your life, this is how you create that lasting, positive, permanent change. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run through this really, really quickly. Don't worry. I will have you with me every step of the way. We're going to do a set of 2 breaths. First breath is you breathe in through your nose, or first step. is you breathe in through your nose, you pull that all the way down to your tailbone, which is where your root chakra is. I want you to hold that breath for 8 seconds. And as you're counting, I want you to send energy to all 8 of your chakras: your root chakra, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown, and soul star. Yes, there's an 8th one. There's a lot more chakras than that, but we're focusing on those. Why is the soul star so important? Guess what? That's the portal to receiving everything. All the ideas, all the brilliance comes in that way. You want to keep the residue off of there. You want that baby lit up so you can receive the guidance and the intuition. So after we count to 8, then I want you to blow it out for 8 seconds, like you're blowing out birthday candles. I want your whole diaphragm deflated like a deflated balloon. And the reason why we want to do this is any trapped trauma or energy that you are carrying, bad memories, negative emotions, feelings, anything like that that's not serving you, that you've been holding on to for a long time, breathe it out and breathe it out hard. And just imagine it's coming out. All of that stuff's leaving you. I imagine like it's like chimney coming out of a fireplace. Just get it out for 8 seconds. And we just do that 2 times. And then all you do is listen to my words. So don't worry, I'll walk you through it. If you're driving, obviously don't close your eyes, but you can listen to the words. You can still get benefit from this. For everybody else, feet flat on the floor, posture straight, hands on your lap. You can turn them down if you feel grounded, or flip them up if you want to receive more energy. And as you sit there with your eyes closed and get present, let's go. Breathe in for 4 through your nose. Hold it for 8 as you count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now blow it out for 8. You should feel really good. We're going to do that one more time. Breathe in for 4 through your nose. Pull it all the way down, and now count to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And blow it out. Just sit with your eyes closed and listen to my words. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small, I notice them all. Yes, 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 thank you. I have today to reinvent my life at any age. It's never too late for me to change direction. It's never too late for me to start over. It's never too late for me to go after my dreams. I know I am the only one that can do it, and I'm going to do it, even if I feel scared. Even if there's a chance I might quote unquote fail or make a quote unquote mistake, I now know all of that are growth opportunities. And the only way I would fail is if I quit. So I'm going to listen to Suzy, and I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to stop. I'm going to adopt her attitude of, I don't do well with no. It's just the way I operate in my life. That's my new mantra. I love it. And I'm going to get the help and support I need. I am not going to go it alone. I'm not going to live in fear or doubt or guilt or shame for anything that may have transpired in my life or the current condition of my life. It's going to be okay not to know. In fact, sometimes that's even better. I'm going to go into it with an open mind so that I can be an eager student of life and learn along the way. And I'm going to see the gift and the gratitude in everything. All the highs and the lows, because I know that's a part of it too. It's all growth opportunities. And I can do this. I've had these goals, dreams, and desires in my mind for years. I remember being a child when I used to imagine things. I'm bringing those things up to the surface, and I'm going to live my life intentionally, pursuing those dreams. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, you can open your eyes now. I want to thank my extraordinary guest, Suzy Prudden, for being here today. I want to thank you for being here. And again, if it's your first time, I hope you like our show. I hope you will subscribe, rate and review it, and let us know what you think. Let us know what you're looking for too, and come back. And for those of you who've been here before, all of you, I love you madly. We're nothing without you. We will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.